My beloved child. Something unusual has already begun, and you felt it before you could even explain it. Not in words, not in logic, but in a quiet shift inside you. A pause that lasted a second longer than it should have. A glance that carried more meaning than it normally would. And somewhere, deep within your awareness, a question started forming. Why does this feel different? Don't skip this moment. Because what you are about to understand is not just about someone else, it is about you. And a timing that is far more precise than you think. There is someone younger who has been observing you. Not loudly. Not obviously. Not in a way that demands attention. But carefully, consistently, silently. And what they see in you is not something ordinary. They notice how you carry yourself when no one is watching. They notice the calm in your voice even when life is uncertain. They notice how you listen, truly listen, when others only wait to speak. And slowly, without even realizing it, they began to feel something growing inside them. Not just attraction. Something deeper. Something that feels like recognition. Stay till the end, because this is where it begins to shift. You might be wondering, why you? Out of all the people they could have noticed. Out of all the paths they could have walked. Why did their attention settle on you? The answer is not random. It never was. Because what they see in you is something they have been searching for without knowing how to describe it. A sense of grounding. A presence that feels safe without needing to say anything. A quiet strength that does not try to prove itself. And to them, this feels new. Unfamiliar, yet deeply comforting. But here is where it becomes more than just a simple connection. Because while their feelings are growing, something else is happening at the same time. Something that you cannot see yet. But you can feel. A pause. A gentle hesitation. A moment where everything seems to slow down, just enough, to make you think. Why is this happening now? Something huge is waiting for you, but it is not rushing. It is unfolding. And there is a reason for that. Because before anything moves forward, there is something you need to understand. Not about them. About yourself. Listen closely. Because this part, most people miss. The attention you are receiving, the energy you are feeling. The subtle pull that keeps returning to your mind. It is not just about being wanted. It is about being seen. Truly seen. And that kind of attention does not arrive randomly. It arrives when you have reached a certain level within yourself. A level where you no longer chase. You no longer force. You no longer try to become someone you are not. And without realizing it, you have stepped into a version of yourself that naturally draws others in. But here is the moment where everything changes. Because not every connection that finds you is meant to stay the same way. Pause here for a second. Feel that. Because what is coming next is not what you expect. There is a conversation, not in words, but in awareness, that is trying to reach you. A realization that is forming slowly, quietly. And it is asking you something important. Are you seeing this clearly, or are you being carried by the feeling of being wanted? Don't skip this. Because this question changes everything. The truth is, being noticed feels good. Being desired feels powerful. Being chosen, even silently, creates a sense of importance. But what if this moment is not about validation? What if it is about alignment? What if this is not just someone wanting you, but life showing you something about your own direction? Look deeper. Because the timing is not accidental. This person appeared, or revealed their attention, at a moment when you are already evolving. When your thoughts are changing. When your priorities are shifting. When you are no longer the same version of yourself you used to be. And that is where the real message begins. Because sometimes, people enter your life not just to stay, but to reflect something back to you. Something you are ready to see. Something you were not ready to understand before. And this younger person, they are reflecting a part of you that is still growing. Still becoming. Still unfolding. But here is the turning point. Because while they are drawn to your stability, your calm, your presence, you are being asked to look beyond the surface. To pause. To observe. To understand what this moment is really about. Stay till the end, because this is where clarity begins to rise. There is a difference between being wanted and being aligned. And right now, you are standing exactly between those two. On one side, there is curiosity. On the other, there is purpose. And both are calling you, in different ways. You may feel the pull, the intrigue, the question of, what if? But at the same time, there is a quiet voice inside you. A voice that is not loud, but it is steady. A voice that says, look deeper. Because something more important is being revealed. Not through excitement, but through awareness. And this is the moment where many people lose clarity. Because they follow the feeling, instead of understanding the meaning. But you are not here to repeat what everyone else does. You are here to recognize what others overlook. And this, right now, this exact situation, is one of those moments. Something huge is waiting for you. But it is not what it first appears to be. Because this connection, this attention, this unexpected energy, it is not just about them coming into your life. It is about you realizing where you truly stand. What you truly want. And what you are truly ready for. Let that settle. Because in the next moment, something inside you will begin to shift. A realization will start forming. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. But that unfolds in the next part. Something within you has already started to rearrange itself, even before you fully understood why. Because what you felt earlier, that quiet pause, that subtle pull, it was not just curiosity. It was awareness waking up. And now, it is asking you to go deeper. Don't skip this moment. Because what you are about to realize is not obvious, but once it becomes clear, it changes how you see everything that came before. You see, the presence of someone younger being drawn to you is not the main story. It is only the surface. The real story is hidden in how you respond to it. Pause for a second and ask yourself honestly. Did it surprise you? Did it make you question your worth, or confirm something you were slowly beginning to believe about yourself? Because sometimes, when someone unexpected notices us, it doesn't just bring excitement. It reveals what we secretly think about ourselves. And this is where things begin to shift. Stay till the end, because this is where the deeper meaning unfolds. There is a reason why their energy feels different. Not intense in a chaotic way, not overwhelming, but steady, curious, almost like they are trying to understand you without rushing to define you. And that is rare. Because most people move quickly. They label things, rush feelings, and lose the depth before it even has a chance to form. But this feels like it is moving at a different pace. And that is not accidental. Because when something enters your life slowly, it is not trying to distract you. It is trying to reveal something. Something huge is waiting for you, but it is hidden inside this stillness. Look closely. Because what you are experiencing right now is a mirror. Not of who you were, but of who you are becoming. This person sees a version of you that even you are still learning to recognize. They see your growth, without knowing your past. They see your calm, without knowing your struggles. They see your strength, without knowing how many times you had to rebuild yourself quietly. And that is what draws them closer. But here is the moment where clarity becomes necessary. Because being seen and being understood are not always the same thing. Let that sink in. Because this is where many people confuse connection with alignment. Just because someone feels something for you, does not mean they fully understand the path you are walking. And just because you feel their presence, does not mean you are meant to move forward without reflection. Don't skip this. Because this is where your awareness becomes your guide. There is a subtle difference between a connection that feels good and a connection that is right for where you are going. And right now, you are standing in between those two realities. One is pulling you with curiosity. The other is asking you to stay grounded in clarity. And both are valid. But only one will lead you forward in the way you truly need. Now pause, and notice something. There is no rush. Nothing is forcing you. Nothing is demanding an answer. And that is intentional. Because the moment you are in right now is not about choosing quickly. It is about understanding deeply. Because when you understand, your decisions become clear without pressure. And this is where something very important is happening inside you. A shift in how you see attention. Before, attention might have felt like something to hold on to. Something to protect. Something to respond to quickly. But now, it feels different. You are observing it. Not reacting immediately. Not rushing to define it. Just noticing. And that is growth. Stay till the end, because this is where it becomes even more powerful. Because the truth is, you are no longer in a place where every connection needs to become something. You are in a place where every connection teaches you something. And this one, this unexpected attention from someone younger, it is teaching you about your own presence, your own energy, your own impact. You are beginning to see that you don't have to chase to be noticed. You don't have to prove to be valued. You don't have to change to be chosen. And once you realize that, everything starts to shift. Because now, you are not asking, why do they want me? You are asking, what does this reveal about me? And that question, that is where your power returns. Something huge is waiting for you. But it is not outside of you. It is inside the awareness you are building right now. Because the more clearly you see yourself, the more clearly you will see others. And suddenly, this situation becomes less confusing, less emotional, more clear. Because you begin to understand something very simple, yet very deep. Not every person who feels drawn to you is meant to walk your entire path. Some are there to show you your light. Some are there to remind you of your growth. Some are there to reflect a version of you that is still unfolding. And this person, they are part of that reflection. But here comes the moment. The quiet turning point. Where everything becomes even more real. Because now, the question is no longer about them. It is about you. What do you feel, beyond the surface? Not the excitement. Not the curiosity. Not the attention. But the deeper feeling. The one that is calm. The one that is steady. The one that does not change every few moments. That feeling is your truth. And it has been there the entire time. Waiting for you to notice it. Don't skip this. Because this is where everything becomes aligned. When you stop focusing on what is happening outside. And start listening to what is happening inside. Clarity arrives naturally. And once clarity arrives, you don't feel confused anymore. You don't feel pulled in different directions. You feel centered. You feel aware. You feel grounded. And from that place, every decision becomes easier. Because now, you are not choosing based on attention. You are choosing based on alignment. And that changes everything. Stay till the end, because something even deeper is about to reveal itself. Because what you are going through right now is not just about a person. It is about timing. Your timing. And the timing of your life unfolding in a way that is more intentional than you realize. Because this moment, this exact situation, is happening at a point where you are ready to see things differently. Ready to feel things differently. Ready to respond differently. And that readiness, that is what matters most. Because without it, you would have missed the meaning. You would have reacted without understanding. You would have moved without clarity. But now, you are aware. And awareness is what separates reaction from intention. Let that settle. Because in the next part, something even more unexpected begins to unfold. Not outside, but within you. A realization so clear that it changes how you see not just this connection, but every connection that comes after. And once you see it, you will understand why this moment had to happen exactly the way it did. There is a moment, so quiet, so subtle, that most people pass through it without even realizing something life-changing just touched them. But you didn't miss it. You felt it. That slight shift inside your chest, that pause in your thoughts, that strange clarity that came out of nowhere. That was not random. That was the beginning of understanding. Don't skip this. Because what is unfolding now is deeper than anything you have noticed so far. Because the situation you are in right now, it is no longer about someone being drawn to you. It is about why this moment is revealing itself now. Not earlier. Not later. Now. And timing like this carries meaning. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, but it will only make sense if you follow this slowly. You see, when someone younger feels drawn to you, it naturally creates a question. A question about differences. About distance. About possibility. But what most people don't see is that the age is not the message. It is the contrast. The contrast between where they are and where you are. And that contrast is showing you something powerful about your own journey. Because while they are still exploring, still discovering, still trying to understand what they feel, you have already walked through confusion. You have already faced uncertainty. You have already learned what it means to lose clarity, and find it again. And that is why your presence feels different to them. It carries experience, without needing to explain it. It carries calm, without needing to prove it. It carries depth, without needing attention. And this is what they are drawn to. But now, something deeper begins to surface. Because being drawn to someone's energy is a quiet realization has been waiting for you. Not in the noise of emotions, but in the stillness you almost overlooked. And now, it begins to speak. Don't skip this, because what unfolds here is not loud, not dramatic, but deeply life-changing in a way that stays with you long after this moment passes. You have already seen the surface. You have already felt the pull. You have already questioned the meaning behind why someone younger would feel drawn to you. But now, something deeper is asking for your attention. Not about them. About the space inside you that is becoming clearer. Because the truth is, this moment was never just about being wanted. It was about being awakened to a new level of awareness. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and it is closer than you think. There is a difference between a moment that excites you, and a moment that changes you. And right now, you are standing in one that is quietly reshaping how you see everything. Because you are beginning to notice something you didn't notice before. The way your mind doesn't rush anymore. The way your heart doesn't jump to conclusions anymore. The way your energy stays centered, even when something unexpected appears. That is not coincidence. That is growth, becoming visible. And this is where the meaning deepens. Because when you reach a point where attention no longer controls your direction, you begin to see things for what they truly are. Not what they feel like in the moment. Not what they promise on the surface. But what they actually represent. And this situation, this connection, this unexpected attention, it represents a mirror. A reflection of how far you have come, and how differently you now stand within yourself. Pause here. Feel that. Because this is not something small. Most people never reach this point. Most people react. Most people rush. Most people confuse feeling with truth. But you are observing. And observation is where real clarity begins. Don't skip this. Because the next layer is even more important. There is a silent question forming inside you right now. Not loud, not urgent, but steady. What is this truly leading me toward? And that question, that is where your awareness expands. Because now, you are not just experiencing the moment. You are understanding the direction behind it. And this is where something powerful begins to unfold. Because every connection that enters your life carries one of two things. Either it pulls you away from your center, or it brings you closer to it. And the only way to know the difference is not by what you feel at first, but by what remains after the feeling settles. Stay till the end, because this is where it becomes clear. Ask yourself honestly. When you step away from the excitement, from the curiosity, from the attention, what remains? Is it calm? Is it clarity? Is it a sense of quiet understanding? Or is it confusion, mixed signals, unanswered questions? Because what remains is the truth. And you are beginning to notice it. That steady feeling inside you. That grounded awareness. That sense that you don't need to rush anything. That is your answer forming. Something huge is waiting for you, but it does not come from rushing forward. It comes from standing still long enough to see clearly. Because when you stand still, everything reveals itself. And right now, something is revealing itself to you. Not loudly. Not suddenly. But in a way that is undeniable once you see it. This connection. It is not here to pull you into something. It is here to show you something. To show you that you have reached a point where you are no longer led by attention. You are guided by awareness. And that is rare. Let that settle. Because this is where the deeper shift begins. You are starting to understand that not every person who notices you is meant to walk beside you. Some are there to reflect your light. Some are there to remind you of your value. Some are there to show you that you are seen, without needing to search for it. And once that reflection is clear, Their role quietly completes itself. Without conflict. Without confusion. Without force. And this is where your perspective changes completely. Because now, you are no longer asking, "Where is this going?" You are asking, "What is this showing me?" And that question, that changes everything. Don't skip this. Because once you see life this way, you stop chasing outcomes. You start understanding meanings. And meanings, they stay with you far longer than moments do. Stay till the end, because something even deeper is about to surface. There is a part of you that has been waiting to reach this level of clarity. A part of you that no longer wants temporary answers. A part of you that no longer settles for surface-level connections. A part of you that wants something real, something aligned, something that matches the depth you have grown into. And now, you are finally able to recognize it. Not by searching. Not by forcing. But by simply seeing clearly. And this is where everything aligns. Because when you see clearly, you don't feel confused anymore. You don't feel pulled in different directions. You don't feel the need to figure everything out instantly. You trust the process. You trust your awareness. You trust yourself. And that trust, that is what changes your entire path. Something huge is waiting for you. But it is not something you need to chase. It is something that finds you. When you stand in this level of clarity. Because clarity attracts alignment. And alignment brings the right people, at the right time, in the right way. Without confusion. Without doubt. Without uncertainty. And now, you are stepping into that space. But here is the final layer. The one that most people never reach. Because this is not just about understanding the situation. It is about understanding yourself at a deeper level than before. You are realizing that your value was never dependent on who notices you. Your worth was never defined by who feels drawn to you. Your path was never meant to be decided by moments of attention. Your path is guided by your awareness. And now, you are finally listening to it. Pause. Because this is the moment where everything becomes still and clear at the same time. You don't need to rush forward. You don't need to hold on. You don't need to question your direction. Because you already feel it. That quiet certainty. That steady knowing. That calm understanding. And once you feel that, there is nothing else you need to search for. Stay with that feeling. Because in the next part, something even more powerful begins to unfold. Not about who is coming toward you, but about what is already aligning for you, in ways you cannot yet fully see. And when it reveals itself, you will understand why this moment had to happen exactly the way it did.